Have you ever wondered why it is so incredibly difficult to walk away from certain people, even when you logically know they are actively destroying your peace? We like to believe that we are in total, conscious control of our own decisions, but the brutal reality is much darker. Every single day, your brain is being quietly hacked. There are invisible psychological traps designed to completely bypass your logical mind, manipulate your deepest emotions, and make you dangerously dependent on others. These are not accidental behaviors. They are calculated, highly effective dark psychology tricks used by manipulators to keep you exactly where they want you. But the moment you finally understand how these invisible chains work, they instantly lose all their power over you. Today, we are going behind the curtain. We are going to expose the most dangerous psychological manipulation tactics being used against you and show you exactly how to build an impenetrable stoic shield to protect your mind forever. Let us start with the most devastating trap, intermittent reinforcement. If you have ever felt hopelessly addicted to a toxic relationship, this is exactly why. Humans naturally crave consistency, but our brains are actually wired to become completely obsessed with unpredictability. Think about a casino slot machine. If you won every single time, you would get bored and walk away. But because the reward is completely random, your brain becomes flooded with dopamine, and you cannot stop playing. Manipulators use this exact chemical mechanism to control your heart. In the beginning, they shower you with intense love, extreme validation, and constant attention. Once you are emotionally hooked, they suddenly withdraw. They become cold, distant, and unresponsive. You panic, intensely wondering what you did wrong. Just when you are about to finally give up, they throw you a tiny, calculated crumb of affection. That unpredictable cycle of emotional starvation, followed by sudden relief, creates a trauma bond chemically identical to severe drug addiction. You stop seeking true happiness and become desperate for brief moments of relief. To break free from this, you must aggressively demand absolute consistency. When you refuse to play the game, the manipulator's slot machine loses all its power. The second tactic is deeply sinister because it directly attacks your best human trait, your natural empathy. It is called planned vulnerability. We are taught that vulnerability is a beautiful sign of trust. When someone shares a painful childhood story or a deep insecurity, our instinct is to open our hearts and offer unconditional support. But a skilled manipulator knows exactly how to weaponize this empathy. Very early in a relationship, they will strategically reveal a fake or highly exaggerated personal struggle. They will look you directly in the eyes and passionately tell you how everyone in their past has betrayed them. This is a calculated psychological move designed to completely bypass your defensive walls. By playing the wounded victim, they directly trigger your savior complex. You instantly feel a strong psychological obligation to heal and protect them because they shared a secret. You feel forced to share your own deep secrets, handing them the emotional ammunition they need to control you later. Furthermore, whenever they treat you terribly in the future, you will automatically make excuses for their toxic behavior, blaming it entirely on their painful past. Genuine vulnerability takes a long time to build. Planned vulnerability is rushed and specifically designed to make you feel emotionally indebted. Guard your empathy like a precious diamond. The third psychological weapon is the illusory truth effect, combined with extreme gaslighting. This is the dark art of completely overriding your reality. The human brain uses mental shortcuts to understand the complex world around it. One fatal shortcut is our unconscious, deeply ingrained belief that if something is repeated often enough, it must be the absolute truth. This is why propaganda works so effectively on the masses. If a toxic person constantly tells you that you're overly sensitive, that your memory is completely terrible, or that you're always the one causing the endless drama, your brain initially resists the bold lie, but as the dark repetition continues relentlessly day after day, week after week, Your subconscious mind begins to absorb the toxic poison. You start second-guessing your own perfectly valid emotions. You begin to apologize for things you never even did. The manipulator denies obvious facts, twists your past words, and aggressively insists that their distorted version of reality is the absolute truth. The main goal of this relentless gaslighting is to systematically destroy your internal compass. When you no longer trust your own mind, you have to rely entirely on the manipulator to tell you what is real. The ultimate stoic defense against this reality distortion is an unbreakable foundation of self-trust. When you absolutely know your own truth, their words become meaningless background noise. Finally, we must address the most agonizing form of passive-aggressive control, the silent treatment. When someone completely ignores you, your brain literally processes that sudden social rejection in the exact same region where it registers severe physical pain. It is not just an insult. It is a calculated emotional execution. The manipulator uses absolute silence to intentionally create a massive emotional void, leaving you completely drowning in deep anxiety, frantically replaying every past conversation, desperately trying to figure out what you supposedly did wrong. They want you to completely break down. They want your self-esteem to shatter so that you come crawling back, begging for their attention, completely willing to apologize for anything just to end the painful silence. True power is turning their invisible weapon against them. When they give you the silent treatment, do not chase them. Do not beg for false closure. Give them the absolute, permanent gift of your total absence. Treat their silence not as a punishment, but as a peaceful, quiet vacation from their toxic drama. You are not put on this beautiful earth to be a pawn in someone else's psychological game. You are not a free rehabilitation center for manipulative people. You must train your mind to immediately recognize these dark tactics the moment they appear in your daily life. Do not negotiate with emotional terrorists. See the intermittent reinforcement for the cheap, addictive trick that it is. See clearly through their fake, planned vulnerability. Let them misunderstand you. Let them think what they want. Let them lose you. Guard your pearls. Shake the dust off your feet and step into the quiet peace of your own presence. Subscribe for emotional clarity.